Topline Business Development Corp listed on the Philippine Stock Exchange on April 8, 2025. It is a Cebu-based energy company focused in commercial fuel trading and distribution, fuel service stations, ports, logistics, and related real estate. Topline has since been on an aggressive fuel-linked expansion drive out of Cebu and across the Visayas. Now, that growth story faces a global test as coordinated U.S.-Israel strikes in Iran and fresh tensions in the Middle East push out prices higher. Well, with us now for more, Topline President and CEO Erik Lim in Cebu. Mayong buntag, Erik, and welcome back to the program.
Yeah, mayong buntag, Kathy.
Well,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, an unfortunate turn of events over the weekend with Brent crude now punching up over $80, now at $78 per barrel. What is your reading this moment for global oil prices?
Well, actually, again, that's what you mentioned, Kathy. It's quite unfortunate over the weekend. I mean, if you look at Iran, that's what you mentioned earlier. It's basically about, in terms of oil production, it's about the fourth largest oil producing country in the world. It's about 3 to 4% of global trade in the market. And as of January data, 2026, it's producing about 3.5 million barrels a day. So if in case something happens with that supply chain, it would definitely give more upside pressure on the prices for the short term and the medium term.
Yeah, let me pick up on that upside pressure because it was just about 9 months back, wasn't it, when oil surged more than to its highs in more than 3 years after the 12-day war between Israel and Iran. So how did your company manage then?
So if you look at last year, it was at June 2025. It was a little bit higher than usual, but since there was a ceasefire after 12 days, it did basically prices went down after that. But this one is a little bit more interesting. More areas in the Gulf that's being affected. So for us in Topline, we just made sure that we have ample supply in our supply chain. So currently, right now, we have a capacity that could run up to 3 to 4 weeks, more or less, for our customers. We have ample supply. And just recently, again, we have very important approvals from the board of Topline, which is number one, to basically conduct capital raising activities. We reclassified about 800 million common shares to preferred shares. Now, these are dividend yielding preferred shares, hopefully in the future for our investors. And number two is basically creating a subsidiary in Singapore for our trading house that could give us more flexibility in the world market for supply.
I just wanted to pick up on ample supply. As you mentioned, 3 to 4 weeks down the line. And I know that as a Cebu-based trader, you're plugged into the Singapore market. So what do you think is already priced in? And what do you think is the market still underestimating?
Well, I think, again, as what you mentioned earlier, it's always important to understand the infrastructure involved, especially the trading of fuel in the Middle East. Because if the Strait of Hormuz will be affected, which is about 20% of oil trade passes through that strait, shipping costs would definitely drastically go up. And most importantly, if energy infrastructures will be affected, it can also have a choke point in terms of supply in the world. So these are things that we're quite interested in monitoring in the next couple of days.
Indeed, and that map that we're seeing right now is very important to that discussion in terms of supply. You've got 3 to 4 weeks of ample supply. Does that mean if the tensions carry on beyond a month, would that mean higher prices at the pump for your customers in Cebu and the Visayas?
But I think it really depends on the resolution phases in this conflict, on how it would drag on. What's important for us is we have ample supply. in our vertical integration strategy here in Topline, because at the end of the day, prices would have an upside pressure in the next couple of days. The question is, we have to have supply for our customers, and that's what's important right now. So that's why, based on the strategy for Topline, going to be importation for the Singapore trading house, and at the same time creating additional capacity in place for our products. And it's not about just supply, Kathy. It's more about energy security for the region, for the Visayas. That's what we're looking at right now.
So you can hold the line and not increase prices. That's something that you can confidently say to customers right now.
Yes. So right now, that's why we have a really good pricing group, our team. So we're doing several hedging activities, forward pricing. We have a good contract from a supplier. So we're very focused on that.
But what is your rule of thumb, say from a $10 move in crude to pesos per liter on the ground? What computations have you done, and how should customers brace for that?
Well, I think the important thing right now is to understand that there's always a knee-jerk activity or knee-jerk reaction on the onset of the conflict. So the question now is, how long is the conflict to be resolved? Or basically, it can be a bit, it can be easier for us to discuss in terms of pricing, but I think we have to check the world market in the next few days.
And we will indeed. Thank you so much. I know these are difficult questions, but thank you for providing those insights. Erik Lim of Topline in Cebu.